okay, for depreciable asset, when we calculate the carrying amount, we have deducted, okay, the depreciation every year, okay, and then we deduct the accumulated depreciation when we calculate the carrying amount, okay. So any accumulated depreciation. So the only difference between depreciable and non-depreciable asset is how to deal with the accumulated depreciation. So any accumulated depreciation on the revaluation date is either you restated proportionately with the change in the asset gross carrying amount, meaning that we are going to restate it, we are going to recalculate, okay, proportionately with the change in the asset gross carrying amount, okay, meaning that we change the when we change the fair value, okay, so we recalculate everything, okay. Or the accumulated depreciation will be eliminated at the revaluation date, or the previous revaluation, sorry, the previous depreciation, okay, the previous accumulated depreciation before the revaluation date will be eliminated against the gross carrying amount. Eliminated meaning that you hapuskan dia. You tolak against the gross carrying amount. Against the gross carrying amount meaning that kita akan tolak di dalam account asset as well. You are going to remove from your accumulated depreciation account, and then you remove the double entry is to remove also from the asset account, okay, and then the net amount is restated to the revalued amount of asset, okay. All right, so the basis that we are going to use is, so there are two options here: to restate proportionally or to eliminate the accumulated depreciation, okay. So we have chosen, okay, to use the second one, which is to eliminate the accumulated depreciation on the revaluation date against the gross carrying amount. So we are going to use this one. All right. So the restatement or elimination of accumulated depreciation would result in an increase or decrease in the carrying amount. Okay, would result in increase or decrease in carrying amount, meaning that the elimination usually will decrease the gross carrying amount of asset. Okay. Okay. So let's look at the example. On 1st January 2011, Mina Berhad acquired property consists of land and building for 15 million. Okay, land and building for 15 million. The cost of land was 3 million. The building was 12 million. Useful life of building is 30 years. Okay. On 1st January 2016, the property was revalued to 22 million. 7 million in respect of land. So 7 million land. The balance is 15 million. Okay, this one is for building. Okay. So we have to calculate the carrying amount of land and building, prepare the journal entry, and then prepare notes to PPE. Okay. All right. So for today, we are going to look at A and B only. Okay. While C, I need more time to explain. All right. So A and B. Calculate the carrying amount at the end of year 2016. All right. So when we do the calculation, okay, so you have to start your computation from the cost of asset. Okay, it will be easier to find the carrying amount that way. Okay, where we start from the cost and we're going to calculate the accumulated depreciation from the before the and find the carrying amount before the new transaction happen. Okay, or the transaction that we have to discuss. Okay, all right. So cost 3 million. Okay, for land, 12 million for building. Okay, the accumulated depreciation, land is a non-depreciable asset. So no problem, regardless of which year, okay, as long as it is before the revaluation took place, the cost would be the same. Every year, you are going to carry the same amount. At the end of year 2011, the carrying amount is 3 million. 2012, 3 million. 2013, 3 million. Okay, sampailah at the end of year 2015, maintain at 3 million. Okay, but for building, okay, throughout the years, we are going to provide depreciation every year. We are going to provide depreciation expense every year. Okay, so the revaluation took place on 1st January 2016, meaning that we have to make a comparison between the carrying amount and the fair value okay, on 1st January 2016. So you have to find the carrying value on 1st January 2016. For land, no problem, 3 million. For building, okay, then we are going to do some calculation here. So 12 million divided by estimated useful life, 30 years times 5 years. Why? 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and then that's it. And then we want to find out the carrying amount on the date of revaluation, which is on 1st January 2016. Okay, so 5 years equal to 2 million. Therefore, the carrying amount of building, okay, on 1st January 2016 is 10 million. Okay, surplus on revaluation. Okay, before that, all right. Before we get any deficit or surplus on revaluation, then we are going to compare the carrying amount with the fair value. So you provide one line for the fair value or the new carrying amount. So land is 7 million, building is 15 million. Okay, and then we are going to look at the difference from between the carrying amount, this one 3 million, okay, with the fair value 7 million. So there is an increase, okay, by 4 million. Then barulah kita masukkan lah. Okay, so surplus. If it is negative, then it is a deficit. Okay, for building, the carrying amount is 10 million, okay, compared with, okay, fair value 15 million. So we have to add 5 million, okay, of revaluation surplus. Okay, so bila kena tambah, ini adalah surplus. Kalau tolak, then deficit. Alright, so surplus on revaluation is 4 million for land and building is 5 million. Okay, but from the question, if you read again the question asks you to calculate the carrying amount as at 31st December 2016, meaning that you have to continue your computation. You cannot stop at carrying amount at the beginning of the year. So we have to continue. So we are going to continue the computation. So you need to find the carrying amount on 31st December 2016. Land, no depreciation, no problem. So you bring down that 7 million. Okay, but for building, then you need to calculate new depreciation. So how to calculate new depreciation? 15 million divided by the remaining useful life, which is 25 years. Any residual value? No. So 15 divided by 25 is equal to, I think 600,000. Okay, from previous discussion. Okay, the computation is 600,000. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have a calculator right now. Okay, so 600,000 minus. So the carrying amount at the end of the year for the building is 14.4 million. Okay, all right. So next is the journal entry. Okay, journal entry. For year ended 31st December 2016. All right. So no problem with non-depreciable asset. Whatever amount that we have recognized as a surplus, then we are going to add to the asset account. So debit land 4 million. Why 4 million? Look at again the computation that we have prepared here. So surplus on revaluation that we have identified is 4 million. So debit land 4 million, credit land revaluation reserve 4 million. Okay, that's it for non-depreciable asset. What about depreciable asset? For depreciable asset, okay, for depreciable asset, step number 1. Okay, step number 1 is to eliminate. So we have to eliminate this accumulated depreciation against the gross carrying amount of asset. Okay, so number 1, eliminate. So eliminate that 2 million. Okay, any accumulated depreciation before the revaluation took place. Okay, so debit accumulated depreciation, credit building. Okay, ini yang dikatakan against the gross carrying amount of asset. Okay, so debit accumulated depreciation 2 million, credit building 2 million. Number 1, to eliminate accumulated depreciation. Only then number 2, then we restate the asset carrying amount to its fair value. Only then, okay, only then we recognize, okay, the surplus that we have identified from the computation before, surplus on revaluation for building 5 million. Okay, So debit building 5 million, credit building revaluation reserve 5 million. Common question that I ask from the student is, Madam, why we need to eliminate accumulated depreciation? Okay, what if we don't eliminate the accumulated depreciation? Okay, so what happened is, okay, in your building account, okay, in your building account, so you have to imagine that, okay, so we're going to prepare now a 3-column ledger for building. Okay, I'm using whatever space that I have here. All right. So you are preparing a 3-column ledger for building. Okay, so we have debit, credit, balance column. Okay, when we first purchased the asset in year 2010, we have recorded the cost of asset, let's say purchase for cash, okay, of 12 million. If I'm not mistaken, sorry, 12 million. Okay. All right, so 12 million. So balance at the end of the year is 12 million. All right. So we are not going to do any change, okay, to the cost of asset. Okay, so every year you are going to do, so we are going to carry the same amount balance, okay, until end of year 2015 and the beginning of year 2016. Okay, and then in year 2016, okay, the company carried out a revaluation for building and land. All right. So what happened to the building? They find out that, okay, the fair value of the building is 15 million. Okay, so when we adopt revaluation model, we said that we have to, okay, we have to increase the carrying amount of the building to its fair value, which is 15 million. Okay, even in the computation of the carrying amount under revaluation model, the carrying amount of PPE is equal to revalue amount. Okay, what is revalue amount? The fair value of asset on the date of revaluation. So dalam case yang ni, kita dah bincang tadi, the fair value is 15 million. So kita akan ganti cost dengan revalued amount. Okay, so cost asal is 15 million. So we are going to replace, okay, balance kepada 15 million. Sebab kita kata kita akan increase to 15 million. Okay, what happened? Okay, soalannya student tanya yang agak banyak lah, agak kerap saya dapat ya, every semester. Why do we have to eliminate the accumulated depreciation? Okay, what if you don't eliminate the accumulated depreciation? What happened to the building account? Okay, so katakanlah you tak eliminate. Sepatutnya you dapat ini ya, because we are going to increase to its fair value. So the fair value is 15 million. So ini yang kita nak ubah. Okay, kita nak jadikan dia daripada cost kepada revalued amount. Okay, seperti dalam definition or explanation of the carrying amount under revaluation model. Okay, so in year 2016, you dah buat tadi pengiraan. You have prepared your computation of asset. You have identified that you have asset revaluation reserve. Okay, sebanyak 5 million. Debit building, credit ARR. Okay, debit building, credit ARR 5 million. So you tambah kat sini 5 million. So what happened? Balance will be 17 million. Nampak? You dah overstate. You dah overstate your asset account. Sebabnya, from your computation, from my computation, I get 5 million surplus. But why when I include that in account, okay, the balance of building is equal to 17 million. So you dah overstate your asset. Okay, so this is not correct. Because the fair value is 15. Okay, so kat mana beza tu? Sebenarnya beza tu bila you, number one, eliminate the accumulated depreciation. In year 2016 also, you eliminate the accumulated depreciation, you debit accumulated depreciation account, and you credit building account by 2 million. Okay, when you do that, then you get the fair value of 15 million. All right, so that's why we need 2 steps, okay, to record the revaluation of depreciable asset. Okay.